Okay. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. What I'm trying to do is help you guys out as you're going for your BP award in the rover section. So basically by doing the BP award you've got some, if you decide to go ahead with it, you'll have opportunity, it should greatly increase your CVA like Baden Queen. I haven't actually done the BP award, but Baden Queen Scout has definitely been something that's been favourably looked upon by employers and that sort of thing. So my aim at the end of the session is that you'll have an understanding of the BPSA requirements. So BPSA stands for Baden Powell Scout Award, okay? Because there's another BP award as well, which I'll cover a bit later. So just a bit of a housekeeping. If you could turn your mobile phones to silent, that would be appreciated. And just be aware there's toilet facilities out in the corridor across the other side of the building, and if there is an unfortunate need to evacuate, it's just across the road where the gas meter is, as per normally happens in the scalpel, as per the group's policies. Okay. So at the end of the session you'll have an understanding of the BPSA requirements, so you'll be able, hopefully by attending the session you'll be able to understand if this is something you'd like to pursue, and then I'll go into a bit of detail about how you can get support towards your award and that sort of thing. So what I'm going to run through tonight is what is it, how can I work towards it, and the criteria of each badge, and I'll still have a brainstorm session. So I'll do a bit of what is nuts and bolts, and then I'm going to pretty much, a couple of the badges are quite straightforward, and some of those, like other sections, have got a fair bit of choice, so it's more about getting your ideas stimulating and that sort of thing to decide how you could possibly work towards it if it's something you want to achieve. So it's probably worth pointing out it's not compulsory. You can still be a rover scout without doing the BP emblem as per all the awards across scouting. Okay. So what is the Baden Powell Scout Award, or the acronym BPSA? Scouts Australia like to use their acronyms pretty much across the board. So BPSA, so I'll keep referring to the Baden Powell Scout Award as BPSA. And if you get confused, just ask questions and I'll expand on the acronym. So it's the highest youth member award, and it's the 18 to 26-year-old group. It's based on aims of scouting, so which are physical, intellectual, spiritual, social, emotional and development. Allows for freedom, friendship, unique challenges and satisfactory achievements. Aims to challenge your personal best, help you grow as a person whilst living up to the scouting ideals. This award, there's also a similar award scheme available in Australia, Brazil, Guatemala, Hong Kong, Singapore, South Africa, New Zealand, and outside of WASM in the UK. On a side note, it's probably worth working out what's going on in the UK by looking up online. It's quite an interesting story, but I won't go into it in this one. So how do you work towards it? Be a fully invested rover scout, so complete the St George's Award and complete the personal growth badge. Attend a self-reflection interview and consult the branch rover council representatives for further information. So perhaps before I go on, has anyone actually thought about working towards the Baden Powell Award? Yep. So how far have you got towards that, Hayley? Without putting you on the spot.
I'm invested.
You're invested?
That's about it so far, because we're trying to start a new rover crew, so...
Yep. Yep. So do you know much about the criteria at this point?
I know the categories, not so much the details.
Not so much the details. Yeah. So, and you guys are all fairly new rovers and not too sure of? Yep. Excellent. So hopefully by going through this I'll be able to give you a bit more information, so try and work out whether it's something you'd like to pursue as a rover. So, okay. Yeah, so the St George, I'm going to go into what the background of St George in a minute, so just bear with me for this slide. So the St George's Award is the first part of it. For those that have done Ventures, it's a lot like the Venture Award, so where there's a whole heap of badges you do first, and then there's a couple of others that you do to finish off. So you complete the Squire training, then in any order, you complete the Road Skills badge, the service badge, and then the physical badge. So I'll go through that in a bit more detail later. So obviously myself not being involved in Rovers at all, I wanted to find out a bit more about what St George was, and what this St George thing was about. So I did a little bit of research. So St George, according to legend, was a Roman cavalry officer, the son of a nobleman around 300 AD. He travelled to the Emperor Diocletian and pleaded with him to stop cruel persecution of Christians. In Libya, he found a city plagued by an evil dragon that required daily human sacrifices. On the day George arrived, the king's daughter was to be the victim. Armed with a spear and encouraged, George charged his horse, knowing that he had one shot at killing the fire-breathing dragon. He succeeded and saved the princess. So BP picked up on this legend and taught how a scout should face difficulty or danger regardless of how great or terrifying it may be, or ill-equipped for the struggle. Encouraged to go in boldly and confidently with everything we have to overcome, and the probable result will be success. So not that you're going to face immediate danger if you do your BP award, but it's more about, it's going to take a fair bit of courage. That's what BP was trying to get across in doing this. And the Rover section has adopted this as part of their award scheme. Okay. So now I'm going to go into each of the badges in a bit more detail. So before you become a fully invested rover, Hayley, feel free to correct me, but you've got to go through some Squire training, and that involves doing some technical skills such as knots, navigation and procedures, which is very similar to what sort of they start off in Joey's and go through right through Scouts, Venturers, and it's just building on or refreshing what they've already learnt. So they've got to do some camping and outdoors activities for 2 nights, a service project for 10 hours, and show some understanding of the award scheme, and that's pretty common across all the award schemes. Okay, so basically through the award scheme, as they go through all the sections, they're generally, for their first stage, for the Scoutcraft, for the Venture skills, they're showing some understanding of what the award scheme is, and Rovers is no different. So then there's a e-learning module, or face-to-face introduction about what Rovers is about, because Rovers is quite different to the other sections, where they're more self-governing than what the Scouts and Venturers are. And Promise of Law, that's a common theme through all the award schemes, to show an understanding, including relevance to young adults. And then the Rover Governance, so that's about their business meetings and that sort of thing. And they've got to do a small project to contribute to building the crew or their assets. So it's basically an introduction to Rovers and showing a level of commitment to the crew, is my understanding. Would you agree with that, Hayley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then you move on to the Rover Skills badge. So this is another level of commitment. So holding a position of responsibility within Rovers for 6 months, camp out whilst demonstrating campcraft skills for 6 nights for at least 4 occasions, organise, participate and log at least 4 events for the Rover Scout section, with each from a different area of personal growth, which I'll cover in a minute. So a position can be limited, can be including crew, regional, branch national, regional events. The crew may consider non-executive positions to be suitable to the, so based on the individual. Examples of camps would be snow, beach, traditional patrol lightweights, low impact, based around major holidays. So like going to a jamboree or something like I've just been to in Mongolia could also come under that if they were doing some service as well over there. Activities should form part, or the route that Ruby Cooper's currently on in Iceland could also be counting towards that as well. So activities should form part of the usual program for the rover crew and may include regional and branch and international as well. So the service badge, so a minimum of 6 months regular active service. Services to help a community or organisation to further development, especially by using scouting skills, ability and knowledge. Must be planned with a reasonable time frame and agreed by both parties. Okay. So that both parties being the individual rover and the crew. Okay. So some examples could be becoming a sectional leader, so quite a few rovers in the past have become junior leaders in the junior sections. I think we've got quite a few examples in this room of that, but it's not limited to scouting, so you could be emergency services volunteer with the CFS or SES, join Meals on Wheels, or join the Surf Lifesaving Club, or become an active member of Rotary Alliance and that sort of thing. Okay. So physical badge, so I start with a measured standard and demonstrate improvement at least 6 months, including planning, appropriate training for the planned activity, and there's 2 options, so undertake a physical / sporting activity, or go on some sort of expedition over 4 days or 2 journeys over at least 48 hours, which have at least 2 nights each, so it's more than just an overnighter. Okay. So yeah, so I think there's some options for option 1 have been training self-defence, learn scuba diving, train and participate in a marathon, learn rock climbing or abseiling, coach or join a sporting team, and in option 2 some people hike the Kokoda, Great Ocean Road, and go on some canoeing and other sorts of expeditions, or sail down to the Sundays, or go on a full driving trip up to the Cape York. So pretty much it's a broad range. So you have an opportunity to do some brainstorming a bit later on. So this is more about trying to get your ideas sort of stimulated, so to work out whether it's something you'd like to work towards. So those 4 badges, that's the St George part of the award, so that's the core part done. And then this is the next thing to finish off your BP award. So it's the first major badge, or it's pretty much like the Queen Scout award level. So it's demonstrate and carry out a significant worthwhile project that benefits the local community, nationally or internationally. Projects should contribute to an improvement in the community, both practical and culturally. So come up with, so basically what you need to do, it's going to be the same for the next one that we talk about as well. So come up with and develop an idea, including a plan, timeline, or mark out your primary goals. Discuss your proposal with your rover crew. So rovers is about, and venturers is about, discussing it and getting peer recognition for what you're doing. So consult the BPSA support team to before commencing the project, and can be of any areas of personal growth, so whether it's physical, intellectual, spiritual, social, emotional development, and you should consider what the end result will look like, and the resources required to be completed along the way. So you need to pitch your idea to your crew, who will consider whether it's an appropriate challenge for you as an individual. So it's all about you as an individual showing some growth. So you undertake the project, including reviewing and modifying your project as required, check the progress along the way, and then you wrap up your project making sure you've completed everything that you set out to do, and then present your report to your crew, and the BSA support team, and reflect on how you've grown personally. So it's pretty much any course these days is pretty much, and it's a good life skill to have as you're going along throughout your careers and that sort of thing. So the next slide will have some examples. So it could be to incorporate a system of environmental sustainable living into organisation or workplace, such as water storage capture and renewable energy source. So working with the community to support the improvement of significant issues, e.g. a health issue within the community, an educational issue that's lacking. So like if there's an issue out in a third world country or an indigenous community that you want to come up with a project. Rehabilitating an area of land, drawing on the local community to help. So pretty much like what Mark Neville Franklin started down the road, on a bit more wider scale could work towards that. So including the biodiversity of an area and that sort of thing. That's probably an area I'd potentially look at if I was doing it. Starting a young mothers group in your local community to get the mothers networking together could be a project if you're at that stage of life. Or if you're more sport minded, starting coaching a sporting team to encourage members to be active, or coordinating a local chapter of Meals on Wheels, or renovating a community building, or running a program to some visits to polls. This is examples, it's not an exclusive list, so feel free to. You're pretty much encouraged to come up with some ideas and go back to your rugby crew and then discuss with them and the BSAP. So basically what they're looking at is to make sure it's suitable, it's going to challenge you as an individual. So everyone's going to have a different standard with what they can achieve through this, which is pretty much the same as Queen Scout, so, and same as Australian Scout Medallion to a certain degree. So I'm not going to go through all the coming up with ideas bit, if everyone's got an understanding from the previous bit, but it's pretty much the same as the community one, but the personal growth badge is looking for a significant project worthwhile that challenges and enhances your skills through new challenges, exploring personal beliefs, challenging your thinking or existing skills. It can be something new or building on a continuing existing skill. There must be clear evidence in that skill or knowledge that if a continuation will be improving your skills. So I'll just jump to the examples. So it's a similar thing like coming up with the idea based on the aims of scouting, pitching it to your crew, understanding the project and reviewing it, and then wrapping up the project to make sure that you set out to achieve, and presenting the report to your crew and the BSA support team to show that you've grown personally. So it's very similar to the community award. So some examples could be learning to dance like the salsa, ballrooms, swing, hip hop. It could be create or produce a documentary or short film. Improve educational or professional, so improving educational or professional qualifications. So like doing a TA like this could potentially be a personal growth challenge, I would have thought. Learning a new language, obtaining your Rainbow Wood badge or certificate 2 or certificate 3 in leadership or management, obtaining a certificate 3 in or 4 in adventurous activities, which could be abseiling, canoeing, sailing, bushwalking, any of those, or develop skills in songwriting, carpentry. So it's basically about building your skills and that sort of thing. So is there any questions before we move into the brainstorming session? Okay, so what we might do is I might pass around some pens and paper. And if you just want to have a few minutes to think about what you could possibly do for some of those badges, so you might have a couple do. Might have Hayley look at perhaps the personal growth badge. Might have Bruna look at the community development badge. Might have James look at the service badge. And might have Lachlan think about the physical badge. Okay, so I'm quite happy to flip back to the other slides if you want to have a little bit more of a criteria. And the rest of you can just choose a badge that you might be interested in having a bit more of a brainstorm about, and then we'll come back and share some ideas. Yep. So a few more pens here. So would anyone like me to go back over, put this criteria for another badge up?
Adrian, can you just get back to the last slide?
Yep.
Check that out. Under the personal growth ones, you've got the obtain a road or wood badge. Is that training provided by Scouts SA?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, so we could just do a course to get that?
Yep. That's my understanding through the e-learning and the usual wood badge scheme and attending your courses and that's what. Yeah, I did, as I was putting this together, I did go through the Rover e-learning package as well, so I did have a look at some modules and it's very similar to what you do for your basic leisure reviews. Those that have done that or working towards that. So would you like me to jump back to some of the others? So the service badge is a minimum of 6 months, regular active service. So it's service to help someone in the community. So further develop their skills, especially by using scouting skills. So must be planned. So the physical one, so any sport or anything you're doing could go towards that.
Kayaking across Lake Alexandrina would be a good one.
Kayaking across Lake Alexandrina, that could almost be an option too there, so a 3-hour journey. So
Does staying at the gym for 3 nights count?
Not saying.
probably you could use gym work, but that would be sort of like using your base standard, like having a base assessment and then showing how you've improved after doing it for a 6-month period.
It can't be option 2 unless you stay in the car park.
Well, like a 24 hours or
Yeah. So it's showing it's basically showing an improvement over the 6-month period.
Stay in the gym for 6 months.
You could use
We just do option 2 and do a few camp
Yeah,
journeys.
things like city to day as well. Like if you include the training for city to day, that can be option 1.
You know, City Bay training's a good one because, you know, you do it for about 10 weeks beforehand and
Yeah, exactly.
boom, 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 boom.
So I'll just go back to the community one.
Yeah.
Meals on Wheels is a pretty good one.
So it's worth pointing out,
That's could be in a bread bag.
it's going to be different for everyone. So it's not going to be one size fits all. So it's pretty wide.
Assisted with crime solvers, I find this just be everywhere.
We've got pretty earrings. So gorgeous. Can you go back to the personal growth page, Adrian?
Yep.
It's like, I can think of a lot of things, but I'm trying to think into more out the box.
I had them done.
Did I get him?
I'm thinking even doing like a certificate 3 course.
Haley was just pointing out, there seems to be a lot of, like it's
Like, Like we're trying to think outside the box is hard with this one because they're all like learn, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm trying to be creative and I'm like it's all just learning.
But that's because it's personal growth.
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to do
So
that.
you
without
have to
learning.
learn.
Well, your creative stuff will come
Yeah,
down
creative.
here.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Like
creative
your
stuff as well.
photography, your songwriting.
Go and see your Mandarin and do some
Yeah,
As long as it's only songwriting and not singing.
Could you do
But
it
even that's
for
learning.
personal growth be understanding? So for example, like if you were to, I mean, I know Amanda's pretty tied up with art and stuff, it's like, it was an appreciation of artwork and actually coming to understand
Oh,
what goes on behind different techniques and different stuff.
on the flip side, like, because it's for all the areas of development. So like, I'm trying to think what you could do with spiritual development under personal growth. Like, I can't think of anything.
Meditate underneath the water.
Take that yoga.
Yoga.
You could go.
Or sort of doing some sort of Bible course or
Yeah.
whatever religion you choose.
Studies.
Yeah, studies or it would be something. I'm
You
assuming
could do,
you'd
you
have.
could do chaplaincy courses,
Could do chaplaincy courses. Yeah, definitely.
or you could even undertake your own. Like I've dealt with a lot of different religions in the Golden Rule project, where I created an art project which involved 8 different religions. If you created a project or something which involved people from different religions and got them to cook or do art or do something together, you could cross off personal growth and community development
Yeah,
And it's good time, yeah.
and do something good for the community
Yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time.
And I think that's why they put examples, because you've really got to picture to your road crew
Yeah.
and then the branch road council. So.
There's people in Sydney, and I'm working in the synagogue at the moment, there's people in Sydney that are running programs, and we're trying to get something up and running here, which brings people from different communities like Jewish, Muslim and Christian youth, but also atheists, together to talk about current issues. But there's older groups that get together and cook. There's so there's like to talk about those sorts of things. There's nothing stopping people from starting up a group or a chapter of some group like that, and they're very powerful these days.
Yeah.
So your personal growth could be basically widening your perspective of a lot of these different religions and cultures and learning something from them and perhaps bringing them all together. Then your community project is getting them to bring their artwork and their traditions together.
I could-
some sort of thing.
I could give you names of people to contact from different religions who'd be happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like Buddhists,
So how you going?
Yeah.
really
Well,
interesting
that's it.
people.
Well, that's everything. That's how you going.
Oh, I'm doing the community stuff, and I keep going, the community garden, which one of our adventurers is talking about at the moment, and I just sort of think that might be something that's could really bring different things together.
And also, you could start running like any activities for the youth group as well.
The other one is the pet share type thing for other young families.
Well, it's like, because that's one that I thought about for our neighborhood, because we have a lot of, an aged population who have lots of space and animals, and a young population who don't have space, can't own animals, but can take them for walks.
We might just give it one more minute and then we'll just... Or is everyone ready to come back now? And we might just share our ideas as a group. This is just water. Yeah. So, who do I give service to?
Me.
What sort of suggestions did he come up with?
You can help the council with various sort of cleanups. And you can also help with whole fundraisers like barbecues and fundraisers.
Yeah. Do you have a job training?
Of course I have a job.
Yeah. No, I mean, doing all the cleanups and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Go around and pick up all the couches with yellow tape on them, they drive me mental.
So, is there anyone else that's got any ideas
Cost
about
the community a lot of money, right?
From my position, I think, like I look at it, and going back and helping out in the youth sections is just so huge.
Yeah.
At Cannon Park Scouts, 3 Joey leaders are all in Rovers.
Yep.
Well,
Well, no, 2 or 3, so.
Yeah.
But and just that coming through and giving it back to the kids, right? So
Yeah. And like them being so close to age really helps. So.
it does, like you were when you were a Joey leader at 18.
Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
okay, so
Yeah. Okay. So, does anyone else have any comments about the service side of things? Any suggestions?
Well, I actually have wrote down something about supporting the Aboriginal community out
Yep.
in the sticks.
Yep.
You know, just getting down, sitting down and having a chat with them.
Yeah, so that could almost come under community development. couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that'll be a pretty major expedition and that sort of thing. Yes, Amanda.
I'm
Yeah.
actually looking at going out to hopefully the Coorong community to offer art lessons,
Yep.
like printmaking, teaching them how to express their ideas in different ways, because it's a really important vehicle for economic independence, particularly for Indigenous people, and for expressing their ideas and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That sort of thing is something that can be done by
Yeah.
a variety of people. It's just lots of avenues for getting out there and sort of helping
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I definitely think that'll be a community development sort of activity. So.
Yeah, and there's also that, if you only had a small group and they weren't really gregarious and meeting people, there's also things like the Days for Girls, that where they sew like the feminine hygiene things that
Yep.
can be sent to people, and that also helps Indigenous people too,
Yeah.
which can be done as a project, which can take, as long as you want, and you can set a chapter of that up.
Yeah, no, great ideas. Like, yeah. So who had the physical? What do you come with?
Run an introductory fitness course for kids with special needs.
Yep.
Log a record of physical education, like over a period of time,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
So, like, you guys assess, like, if you're doing bench pressing, how much you can bench press, and then
Like after like a month, you go, all right, now how much can you
Yep.
do now at a maximum?
and show and log how that you work towards improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get a whole week of special needs kids.
Yeah.
Because of all.
Yeah. Or if you're doing running, trying to improve your time over a different course or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd just like to lose a bit of weight.
Well, losing a bit of weight can be losing a bit of weight can be a physical development, physical edge, couldn't it? So,
People could do the Couch to 5K challenge.
Yep.
That's a pretty, for non-physical people,
Yep.
like the 5K run.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be able to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're like under
Maybe the walk.
under
As
30
you
maybe.
guys, as
Yeah.
you guys sort of know, I was in Riverland for quite a while, and I met someone up there that had pretty much couldn't run at all, and the Couch to 5K one, she's now running half marathons. So,
Yeah, so it does work.
It does
you know.
work. So
Or if you really want you to do the one punch man challenge.
we might leave that one alone. Thanks a lot.
The other one that's really good for that is the Relay for Life, like
Yep.
the 24-hour relay.
Yep.
So everybody as a group, they could be getting fit to do that, and then you're running basically for 24
What if they're
hours.
young enough and they're training for the Olympics?
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, that might
If
even
you're
go towards
old,
personal growth,
Pam
It's all right, Adrian, you can train for the Masters.
Well, you have a hip replacement.
Yeah, pen pads.
Oh, you have a hip replacement, make sure you get better.
What kind of sport can you do in the Olympics?
Lots of sports.
I
Okay.
had to bring better qualifications back.
If you're a
So-
non-swimmer, you could work up to
Lawn bowls.
Yep.
400 metres or
Yep.
something too.
And if you are a swimmer, you can work.
Or if you are a swimmer, you could work for an open water.
Yeah, 1500.
Or like one of the open water, like the jetty challenge
Yep.
or something like
Yep.
that. You could train for that.
Excellent. So I think you're getting a pretty good understanding of the physical one. How about the personal growth one? Was that you, Haley?
Yes. Alright, so I got getting like some kind of belt in martial arts, depending on where you are at the moment.
Yep.
Learning a musical instrument, maybe learning computer coding and writing a program. Undertaking like a sort of adult courses in like painting or the arts, stuff like that. Taking up yoga or theological studies like we were talking about before.
Yep. Excellent.
You could develop an app.
Yeah, well that would come under writing a program. You can make a mobile game, that would count.
I think your brother should have done this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
it actually seems a lot easier than what the Queen Scout.
Yeah, I think that's why I like it.
Or the ASM.
I think Hayley and I have had arguments, not arguments, but discussions with headquarters about they should
Yeah.
switch the two awards around, because
Yeah.
I think this is more achievable when they're still doing year 12.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway.
But yeah, so
So was there any other comments with the personal growth badge?
I could try and lessen the amount of coins I put in the sweeter.
Yeah, well,
I think
put
if
your
I-
over I'm
I
sure
think if
that.
I could get all my filing done and only drink on the weekends, I think that would be my bad.
Put your over
I could try and keep my
I get gold stuff.
That'd be great.
Sorry, Chris.
I think Hayley can try and keep her room clean for a month.
I'm sure all parents will agree with
Not gonna happen.
I agree with that.
That tends to go with the name, doesn't it?
It could even be like a healthy
Look
food
at
challenge though, or
Hayley's.
something like
Yeah,
that.
it was-
Like you
Oh,
could
yeah.
decide to go on like the personal growth thing.
No
Could be-
carb, no sugar diet.
Could be a diet, like a not,
Yeah.
it could be, it could be like 5-2 challenge or something like
Diets
that.
don't work.
It could be a 40-hour famine.
it. Definitely.
40 hour famine, yeah, or the live below the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, if we do something with the rural kids who perhaps don't get much of a chance to come up to Adelaide and see the city
Yep.
until they're moving up here for university, so maybe it's a good way to do something.
And just going back to Mongolia, a lot of the kids there, a lot of orphans were actually at that jamboree, and they were supported through the Australian Embassy and other leaders throughout Mongolia to be there. So they also were there weekend away, and they had pretty much they stayed in special accommodation. Or some of them were part of the troops, and some of them had their accommodation. So I was giving them the same experience to be part of it with all the internationals as well. So being a leader over there could also help as well. I know the Australian ambassador over there is screaming out for people to help with that sort of thing, and he's very pro scouting. So that's probably another opportunity that's fresh in my mind. So yeah.
I noticed that some places have now got like a table that they put out which has got books and also like if you've got backyard produce, like my lemon tree busting with lemons at the moment.
And I can tell you that there is a plan to have both at Camden Park Scale Hall.
There's a
There's a community, we've got a young lady in Venturers and he's going to be building community garden boxes out the back. And at the front there'll be some fruit trees and there's going to be one of those market box and the book box as well.
There's a book
Yeah.
box just out.
because like when our kids grow out of books,
Yeah.
you know, and games, we could bring them here and then another
Yeah.
family could take them, you know. We definitely had a lot of that, you know, happen lately.
Okay. So I think the ideas are sort of starting to flow, which is the name of the session. So I might just wrap up pretty quickly, and then we can enjoy some refreshments and continue the discussions about these pages over a cuppa. So we'll just finish this off. So basically what I've talked about is what the BP award is. So I hope you've all got a better understanding now. So how you can work towards it. So whether it's something you'd like to go for, you should have a better an understanding of each badge. And I will show you some resources that you can refer back to. So there's quite a few good websites that were useful, not just Wikipedia. So, and we've had a bit of a brainstorm session to start the discussion. Obviously, we can't finish the discussions. You obviously need to go back to your rover crew and the branch rover council to decide how to move on this. But I'd highly encourage you, and like I said at the start, it's definitely, as you're looking for employment, those that have been in the workforce, definitely if you've got a BP in there, as it becomes more and more known, it's going to be better for you on your resume. Like I've worked out in Queen Scout has been as well. So and that seems to be raising in a bit more popularity of late, which is good. So some useful resources. So the Rovers, every adult member in Scouting should have access to Scout Central. There's some very good resources on that, particularly the e-learning modules are all on there. So that's one part you can actually use for your BP emblem for the Rover Skills badge. The Scout Odds app, that's available on Android and Apple. More than happy to show you how to download that on your mobile phone afterwards. Other Rovers, so people in the room and those that have done it before, there's quite a few. There's probably about a dozen or so Rovers that get this award each year, and I'm sure they're happy to share their knowledge. So I'm sure Bruna, Haley or I can point you in the direction of someone who's done it before that will be able to help you out in asking some further questions as well. So obviously peer-to-peer is a really good source. The Branch Rover Council, Yeah, they're the organisation in South Australia that sort of manage the awards to a certain degree, or they'll be able to point you to the awards committee. So obviously Rover's been self-governing, I can't say how it's actually managed. That's more a decision for that committee to be consulted, and I'm sure they'll help you out. So, and the New South Wales Rovers website was extremely useful. Most of the information I got today, or the presented tonight, comes straight from that website. So I just changed it a bit to try and make it a bit more PowerPoint friendly, but there's good information on that if none of those work. So is there any questions before we wrap up? Has it increased your understanding of the BP award?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, which was 8 of the sessions. Oh, thank you for your time. Feedback sessions for you guys to fill out. So, yeah. Thank you.